Okay, before we get to the unboxing, I just wanted to show you what we're installing. So these are our multicolored Footwell lights. So this is what they look like. You can see we're sort of getting a little dusky outside, but they're plenty bright. So there's a remote control that's provided, so you can change the color for the rear footwells and the front footwells. They're all based on infrared, so they're independently controlled. So you can have 4 different colors, or as we've got it, we've got blue in the back and red in the front. So there's one of our puddle lights. And in the front we've got them set to red. There's our center console. Animated dash strip that we have for this Model 3, which is a Highland. We obviously have the same version for regular Model 3. And then you can see the Footwell light just up underneath there. So that's what we're installing. This is the easiest and pretty much only way to extend Footwell lights to the rear of your Model 3 or Model Y. Today we're going to install our multicolored Footwell lights, front and rear. They're designed for Model 3 and Y. We already have a video out there for what we're calling the classic Model 3 and Model Y. So this video is going to be focused on the Model 3 Highland. It's basically the same, just a few slight differences in terms of where you pop the panels down and where you run the cables, but basically the same thing. So first of all, we'll do a quick what's in the box, then we'll get to the install. Okay, so in the box, let's pop everything out real quick. Quite a bit of stuff. Just unravel these a little bit. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's do these bits. Got a trim tool. Don't really need that probably in Highland, but we'll try it anyway. Obviously some zip ties to strap up the cabling. These are 3M VHB strips. These go on the back of each of these light strips. So these go in the rear, one on each side, and then these go in the front footwells, again one on each side. So they're basically tapping or teeing off the existing power supply for the factory lights, powering the front lights, and then powering the rear lights as well. So as I'm sure you know, there are no rear Footwell lights in any of the Model 3s or Model Ys, so this is how you add that. Slight caveat, if you happen to be watching this and you have a classic Model 3, the non-premium versions may not have the Footwell locations powered, so check that. But basically, if you have Footwell lights that are working now, these will work just fine for you. And let me just plug one in real quick, just so you can see basically how it works. Okay, hopefully you can see both things now. So the receiver for the front Footwell lights is inside the light. The ones for the rear Footwell are on these little tails here. So just make sure that you point it in the right direction. The good thing about this is as well, it means if you do want to have different colored lights, maybe in the front versus the rear, you can do that because it's infrared, it's very localized, there's no apps or anything needed. So just pick the color you want and you are good to go. Okay, with that, let's get installing. We'll start on the driver's side. Okay, here we are on the driver's side. I dread doing these install videos because it's so difficult to get an angle. So I'm also wearing my Meta glasses, so I'll give you a bird's eye view, which might make you a little bit seasick. Sorry about that. These are our Ultralux floor mats, just real quick. So these have kind of the best of both worlds. They have a really tough rubber main piece, I suppose, and then you have this removable carpet pad as well. So really easy to just pop that out if you're going somewhere messy. Otherwise you get kind of this premium carpet feel. Also got our center console light, animated light on there as well. Alright, so what we have here is one of the kits. We're going to pop the panel off underneath here. I'm going to try and get under there. Sorry about the weird angles, but I'm sort of on the side here. So this is very easy to do. Just grab it, pull down. It's magnetic. You can see the 2 magnets here. So not much to do there. This is actually one of our other lights. So this isn't the factory light, but this is the connection you'll find. And we're just going to push that through. You may have to fight with it a little bit, but there you go. Now we're going to grab this light. So we're going to unplug the replacement light. We're going to put that in there, like so. I'm going to plug that in, like so. There you go. And then tap the existing power supply. Okay, so now we have lights there, but this one we don't. Let's make sure that's plugged in properly. There we go. Oops. Bit of a tough fit. I'm going to use the end of this just to push it home. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to leave that hanging there. We need to get that out of the way. We need to run this to the back of the driver's seat. So in terms of routing, I'm kind of doing this first time, so you get to see the sausage being made, so to speak. We're just going to tuck it in up here, I think. Really easy. Bring it up to here. Just make sure we're getting that on camera. And then we want to, then what we're aiming for, of course, is this weather strip. So let me just get a piece of it in there. Oops. And then we're just going to probably just use fingertips to push that out of there, but you can also use the trim tool that was provided as well, just to vanish it. And we're going to work our way around. Okay, and then we get to this join here. So we're going to use that to get the cable hidden and to transition to under the seat. Sometimes you just kind of have to fiddle with it a little bit just to, there we go, just to catch the cable right. There we go. Okay, so completely hidden from this side, which is awesome. Now we're going to go to the back of the truck, or back of the truck, sorry, we're doing a lot of Cybertruck videos. We're going to go back of the car and finish the cabling off underneath the passenger, the driver's seat. My goodness. Okay, so now we're in the back of the Model 3. Again, most of this is going to be through the glasses because it's just so difficult to get angles, especially under the seat. Here's my dog, he's lost his ball underneath the car for the 100th time today. So the first thing we want to do is, you can see I've moved the seat all the way forward, all the way up, and we want to get the light bar from this side of the mounting system to here. And there's a gap here, you can kind of see my finger there hopefully. So that's what we're going to do. So we're just going to kind of slither it under, and this takes a little bit of dexterity, but it's not too bad. Hold on, let's try it. Let's do it from this way. This will be easier for you because you don't have to worry about at least one of the cameras getting it. I'm just going to slide it under, like so. Pull everything through, which includes the IR receiver and control box. So you do have to apply just a bit of downward pressure to get it underneath the seat slider. Just push that through. Ugh. My goodness, there we go. Okay, so now we're on the right side of the seat. We're not going to foul any of the sliding. We just want to tuck the rest of this under into the trim there. I'll probably take care of that in a minute with the trim tool. And then we can get the gap under there as well. Okay, so now you have two choices, and I hope one of the cameras is getting it. You can either mount this on the underside here, where it's out of sight, or there's a bar right at the back there, which I don't think we're going to be able to see very easily. Hold on, let me get my head right down there. Let's move that. So this bar here is the other option, and that's where you would use the cable ties or the sticky pad. but it's way up there, and you're going to lose a lot of the light, obviously. So my recommendation is just put it on the underside here, and that's what we're going to do. So let me just apply this to the back. Didn't do a particularly good job of that, but it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to peel this back. And we're just going to place that there. So it's completely out of sight from anyone that's going to be in the back seat. It's, you know, it's just stuck to this faux leather fabric. It'll stay stuck, there's no issues there. Then we want to, in terms of getting the cable tidy, we're going to just strap it to this existing control cable for the seat. All the seat fan and heaters and everything else are in this. So this is a good place to do that. Let me grab the zip ties. While I'm here, let me just tuck this back in. Okay, so we're just going to grab the cable. Now you need to allow enough slack, obviously, for the seat to come backwards and forwards. So really what we want to do is position the first zip tie. If I just get it tied around down the bottom so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to slide it up. Okay, so what I want to do is get this all the way to the top, or as far as I can, because then I know that I've got enough cable up there to go backwards and forwards with the seat, because of course everything that's in this control cable from Tesla has to go backwards and forwards with the seat. So you can't see what I'm doing here probably, but I'm just pulling the zip tie tight. And then we're going to put another one a bit further down. Like so. And then last one is just going to be to tidy up the excess cable. Before we do that, let me just slide this up here a little bit. And then I want to just tuck that cable in so it's completely hidden. A little difficult to get to this, so but I'm just going to lift the trim up a little bit, tuck that in all the way along. And then if you want to, I'm not going to do it now, but you can also tuck it in under there. And then, as I say, just going to tie up the rest of the cable. This is not the tidiest cable management job, you can obviously do better. Okay, then a little reminder, this is the IR sensor for the light strip. So you sort of want it just kind of hanging out somewhere so that if you point the remote down from up here, then it just kind of catches it. So that is the driver's side done. Now we're going to go and do the passenger side. Okay, before we switch sides, I forgot I need to get this put back into position. So what you're looking for, hopefully you can see this on camera, there's a little kind of recess up here, just a styrene recess, and then this tongue here. So that's what you're looking to locate. We're just going to kind of shove the wires back there a little bit. Make sure we're not fouling anything, and then it just clips up in place. So if you're having to fight anything more than that, then just make sure you haven't got any wires getting in the way of the locating lugs or the sort of tongue at the back, but that should be very easy to replace. Okay, now we'll go to the passenger side. On the passenger side now, this is actually a little easier to get down this panel, so just kind of grab it and pull down. So easy. So you'll see there's a magnet here, locator lug, and then this tongue is the same one that goes up under there. Hopefully you can see that. That's your hardware computer right there, just in case you're wondering. And then the bulb and crazy angle warning coming up is up here. So you just push it out, release it. This is how you release all of these clips. So just pull that clip down and it releases. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing here. Pop that out. This is the replacement bulb. And we obviously need to feed that through the top. There we go. So first of all, we're going to tap the existing power. The car's in standby at the moment, so nothing's going to light up, but we'll take care of that, of course, at the end. And then put this back on. Make sure that clips, and then push it all back into there. And you'll see it's kind of at an angle, so that's how it fits. Okay. So same thing, we're going to grab the cable now, we're going to just run that under here. Just push it up past that trim, very easy. Then push it under there, like so, and then into the weather stripping, or the weather seal. Right along here, we're heading for that same gap. Probably can't see that very well at the moment because it's not very well lit. We'll take care of that in a minute. But before we do that, let's get this back. So again, this locating tongue goes in there, and then it just clips up like that. So incredibly easy. Good job, Tessa, on that one. Okay, so now we're going to tuck that under there. I'm going to be a bit more brutal with it. Let's just get the okay, so now we're going to move the seat up and all the way forward once the car comes out of standby. Okay, so we've got that nice and free. Let's get to the back. Under here, let's use this as a light. So there's not that much of a gap. So we're going to do an alternative approach here. So you have two options. This will get through quite easily, I think, but getting the control block through is going to be a challenge. So I think for this side, we're actually just going to just move that mat out of the way. We're just going to bring it under this end and keep it really simple. So we're just going to do that. And then we're still going to keep enough slack over here to hide it. And then there's a gap here as well, so we can just tuck it up underneath there. So it's up to you. The other option, of course, is you can undo this, looks like a Torx 25 for the seat slider, and then you can just obviously make the space you need. Just trying to avoid making life too complicated. And since you know, the whole seat is a safety system as well, don't really want to be doing undoing those unless you really need to. So let's just tuck this up under there. Do the same here. And then we're going to go all the way up there as far as we can to make sure that no matter how far the seat slides backwards and forwards, there's still enough slack on the cable. Okay, so I'm pulling that tight now. Put another one here. And then the rest of this we're just going to tidy up. In fact, I'm going to cheat and just stuff it under there. Even better. Look at that. So this might actually be a better option than what I did on the other side. So dealer's choice, but I'm leaving the IR transmitter sticking out just like that. I'll get us some snips. But there you have it. So if I kill all the lights, go grab the remote. So you kind of get an idea of what they look like. Mixed colours at the moment, but if I set this side to red as well, just by pointing down there, that's kind of what they look like. So really good amount of light for the rear passenger footwells. And then in the front, same thing, we're currently set to white, but just point the transmitter at the light, and there we go, got some red footwells. So these are obviously not as bright as our ultra bright lights, but you do get the benefit of having light in the front and light in the back. Thank you for watching.